Hi, friends. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Sue Broome here with Enlightened World Network. We are bringing you messages from your loved ones today. And while Sue is sharing out on her page, I'll just share with you how we do this today. We welcome you. We're so glad you're here with us. And Sue and I will wait for you to put the name of a loved one in the chat here on Facebook. And then we feel into that energy. Sue has created some fabulous cards that we use. And then we also just sit in the energy of your loved one and see if there's a message there for you. So, Sue, I'm so glad you're here today.
I am very glad to be here. And I know that we're on a special time, and that's perfect. I mean, timing is always perfect. So maybe the reason is going to be that there's different people or whatever. It's always perfect.
Yeah, so we're going to go with that. So if anybody would like to hear a message from their loved one, please put their name in the chat and then we'll be able to see that. So, and we're assuming we're going to be able to see that.
Yeah, we'll assume technology is working today.
So we will. There we go. We'll come back into it again and see.
Yeah.
It's not sure if we are or not. Let me see.
Well, Mercury is still in retrograde until Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and send a comment and we'll see if I can see it.
Well, if you want me to, I can too.
If you would, please. And then we'll know right away if we can see him. It just looks like we're just sitting here. We really are doing some technical work here, friends.
There you go. Yep.
What? Shut up. You're going to have to do it without hearing it.
It's you, it's not me.
That's right. I'm the problem, it's me. Taylor Swift.
Well, I can see my comment, but I don't know that, and I think I'm still, yeah, I'm on Enlightened World page, so. I don't see your comment though.
I didn't put one in because it was talking to me.
Got it. Okay.
But it doesn't.
But my comment is there, so if you can see my comment, then that would mean that it's working.
I can't.
Oh, you can't?
No, can't. Let me try it again. No, I can't.
So Archangel Michael, please help with this technology. Please help the technology work properly. Should say, please help the technology work the way we expect it to work.
Right.
Oh, hi, Prashetta. I see Prashetta's there. Good afternoon.
Wow. So I can't see that Prashetta's here. So there's Prashetta. Okay. So Sue, if you can pull up.
Say that again.
Hold on. There we go. So I can see Enlightened World Network, but I cannot see your page.
I commented on Enlightened World, but as me.
I see that. Now, do folks ever put things on your page? Comments on your page?
I never know because I'm usually just paying attention to what you're doing. Oh, it's 1:30 in the morning for Prashetta. Good. So
and Peggy O'Rourke is watching. So Peggy, welcome.
Hi, Peggy.
So what we're going to do, I am going to simply use my phone and we're ignoring Restream because it's not playing well anyway. So if anybody is watching this either on Sue's page, Enlightened World Network is not showing. I think that's where I am, Prachetta, is watching Enlightened World Network on my phone.
Well, and I can't see that Peggy commented on my page. So it must be coming through Enlightened World. I mean, so it must be. Actually, I can't see her comment at all.
She didn't comment. I just see
Oh, got it. Well, Peggy, Miss Peggy. I know Peggy from years and years, and Peggy and I go back way longer than we probably both want to admit.
Well,
Oh, there she is. Hi, Peggy. Mom's birthday on the 18th of May. Ooh, just 10 days because today is the 8th. Look at that. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday. Peggy, if you would like to hear a message from a loved one, please share with us who that is in the chat, and we'll be able to see that. Perchetta, I'm assuming you would like to hear if there's something from your parents. So should we do that, Sue?
Yeah, and I'm actually feeling one card for both parents today. It feels like I don't know. Is that okay, Prashetta? I'll wait. Oh, and she says her comments are not showing on Enlightened World, but that's where I see it. Please, please. Oh, she says, please, please. Okay.
That's where I'm seeing it, Perchetta. So you may not be seeing it, but we're seeing it. So I think that's okay there.
Very strange. All right, Miss Prachetta's parents. Mom and Dad. Yeah, I see some of the pictures that you post out there, Miss Prachetta, and there some beautiful, beautiful pictures. But what I'm seeing in right now in my mind is just colors, just like colors. Many, many colors. Oh, there it is. And it came out. This is what happened, Prachetta, is the card flipped and went zooming on my keyboard. So this is absolutely, they definitely wanted to come through together they wanted to slide in, they wanted to come in with an entrance. It's almost like sliding into a home plate. That's pretty funny. Oh, it's like, ooh, we share so many memories. It's absolutely, I think, what it feels like to me is that it's twofold, because it's like, Prashetta, you have so many memories of them, but they also have so many memories of you and of the family and of being together. And this is okay. It's like there might be things that you don't remember, or maybe you really never knew about them. And I'm getting chills, but what they want to do is they want to imprint these memories on you. So it's, major chills. It's almost like sometimes there's places that you go that you will feel a nostalgia that you don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from them. It's coming, and I'm getting chills all over my body. It's like it's like they just are imprinting this on you. So you're feeling this nostalgia, and it's like, wow, I've never been here before, but they have been here before. They have the memory, and they want you to have this experience of that, whatever that is. And there go the chimes. Oh, it happens a lot of times, so I love it.
It feels so like it's not just them, it's also ancestral. It's not just.
I would agree with that. That feels really good.
Almost like a dumping or a download.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was there a card attached to that? I didn't see it.
We share so many memories. that's what was, it was one of the really intense, the way it was coming through.
So what I saw, Perchetta, was first I saw yellow flowers. Right now we've got yellow tulips. I don't know if y'all have tulips where you are, but yellow flowers and a plate of yellow lentils, like a dish. And I think tarka maybe is yellow, at least at our restaurant it is. But so the colors were yellow, and to me that symbolizes spring, like yellows and golds and spring. And it feels like a family event where there was food and flowers, a celebration. I know y'all have more celebrations than we do. Laughter, and like looking around the table and thinking, this is good. You know, we're here with those we love. This is good. And so that piggybacking with Sue's, the ancestral stories and and the family stories coming down, it just feels so full of love. It's just rich with love and memories. That's beautiful. Huh. And then with her birthday just being 10 days ago.
10 days coming.
Or 10 days is coming up. So Perchetta says, I have been feeling that my mom is just going to come out of a room. Okay, where Perchetta is, there's lots of tulips, and yellow lentils were her father's favorite.
Perfect.
A lot of family togetherness right now.
Yeah.
That's really special. Perchetta, I don't know if you know what it's like for most people. Most people don't feel the closeness of their loved ones like you have had the opportunity to feel. Really unusual. So I hope that that brings you comfort, just to know that you've got that. It's a beautiful gift that they keep giving you. Yeah, that's beautiful. So let's move on to Peggy. Peggy says, my sister is the 17th. I guess that's the birthday, maybe today, birthday or death day. I'm not sure which, because it was after Perchetta's birthday comment. So maybe it's okay. So my sister is the 17th. Today is a special day for two angels, my aunt and my husband, and my aunt's birthday today. So has Peggy's husband passed? Do you know?
No, nope, he's still here.
But she considers him an angel, so that's sweet.
So read that last part again, because I can't see it anymore.
It says, my sister is the 17th. Today is a special day for two angels, my aunt and my husband. Aunt birthday today.
I think it's my husband's aunt's birthday.
Okay.
Is that what it's saying? Is that right, Peggy?
Oh, she said her birthday.
So the 17th is her birthday. Two angels.
Well, let's just feel in and see if there's a message there for Peggy.
Yeah, Miss Peggy. Miss Peggy. It's funny because I'm seeing the banners for her birthday party.
Perchetta said I should be sleeping now. Yes, Perchetta, you should be sleeping.
Yeah.
As I say to my girls, go to bed.
All right, Miss Peggy, let's see what we got here. I want you to be happy. So this is, oh yes, it's the special birthday for them. So this is so interesting because I feel like it's the cheering section. because the other side, our loved ones, just because they have passed, just because they are not they're no longer in the 3D physical body, doesn't mean that they don't know what's going on, and they want us to be happy. So if it's somebody's birthday today, yay, it's a day to celebrate, and it's a day that hopefully you will be happy for the birthdays that they were here, for the birthday celebrations that you were able to have together. And I feel like it's still a time of celebration. It's their birthday, their graduation day. There's still days of celebration. And that's all part of the being happy, because they're still with us. They're still, they still are living the love in our hearts. That sounds kind of strange, but it's like the love is still there in our hearts for them. The love that they have for us is still there. So they want, see, I'm gonna go the Giants. I want you to be happy. So on their birthday, on their graduation day, it's not a day to be sad. It's a day to be happy, to celebrate their life, the time that you spent together, and to celebrate life.
Yeah, that's really sweet. So Peggy, I'm getting lots of colors today, and the color that I got with yours was pink, and it was cotton candy, and it was happy. But what was interesting about it, and I was totally getting like the birthday celebration, that kind of excitement to it. The cool thing about it was I was seeing these hands taking cotton candy, like rolling it up in a little ball and feeding it to you. And it was like, this is so special. We want to share this with you. And then they would put it in your mouth, and it was so sweet. It was like otherworldly, can't even compare it to anything else that you've tasted here. And the message that I was getting with that was that, and I'm still even confused on who we're talking about now. I think it's, who all is that, Sue?
I think it's a combination. I really think it's like the cheering section.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like to me.
Yeah. What I'm getting is that and now don't take this wrong, they can't wait for you to get there. You're not going to do anything to make it happen faster, but they can't wait for you to get there, because there are cool things there that they want to share with you that you can't even fathom, because we're here. So yeah, but they were showing me that with pink cotton candy, feeding it to you. Like, this is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I like that when you say, we can't wait for you to get here, but we're not going to speed things up. But it is. It's because anything that we can imagine is nothing compared to what it really is.
Yes. Well, it's just, some people say that the colors, the crayon colors, is so insufficient compared to the full spectrum of colors that are over there. So I think it's the same with foods and flowers and experiences and everything else.
And it's so hard to imagine. It's like, but how could there be more colors? It's just like, it's hard to imagine. And I know that it's one of those, our 3D brains. It's like, well, this is what I can see in front of me. So how can there be more? It's like, oh, but there is. And part of that is we can see this, but when we close our eyes, we can see different things. And I think that that's part of it. It's like, but I don't see this when I open my eyes. Like, yeah, but yeah, our imaginations are can be so much more.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's somebody else who's on watching. And so if you want a message from your loved one, please put your information in the chat. So Sue and I were talking before we got on this call, and we wanted to just kind of toss around some ideas with you. Now, Sue's got a background in hospice care, and I don't. I have supported a handful of folks as they were passing away. And so we've had conversations before about what it's like when you pass away and, what you might be experiencing. But we're going to step that up closer to the living end. Got a person that we love dearly who is very sick with cancer. She's been fighting it with chemo and radiation, and finally is kind of gotten to a point where she's having to decide, do I want to keep fighting this, or am I ready to just connect in with hospice and say, that's what it is, friends. I mean, I'm not going to get better. I'm only going to get worse. Am I done fighting this fight? So we just wanted to kind of toss that around with you all. Sue, your time in hospice, how long were you with hospice?
Hard to say, because I was there a couple of years in Wisconsin, and then I moved to Arizona, and I was with them a few years also. But I just want to clarify something in case people don't understand with hospice. When you choose to go on and work with hospice, anything that you were doing to try to save your life is stopped. And you also, I want to say that the right word is prognosis, but it's like they are anticipating that you have it's either 3 or 4 months. I can't remember. So it's a short amount of, okay. Oh, it's 6 months. Okay. That
Sure.
you have 6 months left, but they will continue any meds that to keep you comfortable, but not any measures or meds to prolong or to heal.
Right.
Okay.
And you can go on hospice and then go off hospice and then go on hospice.
Yes.
If you live past the 6 months, you can just re-up and go on hospice again.
Yes. Because I did have one lady, her name is Shirley. And I'll tell you what, she graduated off hospice and then she ended up going back on. But yeah, she was doing well enough that she was off hospice for quite a while.
So Sue, the folks that you were working with had already made that decision, or that decision was made for them, that there's nothing else we can do. My mother-in-law, God bless her, was dealing with cancer, and they said to her, and welcome, Ann, we're glad you're here. They said to her, we will keep you on chemo for the rest of your life. And then about 3 months later, they said, we're done with chemo. There's nothing else we can do. And she was so shocked because she had really heard you're on for the rest of your life, and now we're done. And she was dead in a week. And I think it was because she had kind of said, I guess I'm done. They're telling me I'm done. Chemo's over, I'm done. And boom, she was out. I think it's interesting how strong our own thoughts are on when we're dying. I was with one of my friends at her doctor's the other day, and she's older, and we're looking at retirement living. And her financial planner said, you can afford this for about 9.5 years. So we were sitting with her doctor and we said, we know you don't have a crystal ball, but you know what the medical issues are here. Would you think that 9.5 years would be enough to sustain her for the rest of her life? And she said, well, how long do you want to live? And I thought, wow, that's a really telling comment right there. And I think it's true. We really have the ability in many, many cases to impact whether we're going sooner or whether we're going later. Or you hear about the folks that waited until a birthday or waited until a holiday, and then they were out. So, Sue, what are your thoughts from your history with the folks that you've worked with about making that decision to stop fighting, and then B, about the timing, if we can influence our own timing on things?
So a couple of things, Cryon, I don't know if you've ever heard of Cryon, but Cryon is an entity, we'll say, that Lee Carroll is the man, but he has channeled Cryon for years. I mean, decades. And I'm pretty sure it's either Cryon or Abraham that I can't think of what her name is, that she channels, but one of the two, either one says every death is a suicide.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I'll say that with two interesting little things. One of the patients, the first person that ever passed when I was with him, because I would do vigil. So vigil is when they are anticipating you're in the last 48 hours. So I was a volunteer, so I would go sit with them to give the family respite. And I was sitting with him, and even though he was appearing unconscious, the hearing is the last to go. So you don't want to say really nasty things to people.
You can hear.
Family, remember that they can still hear. But what I told him was, your wife has gone down the hall to lay on the couch to get some rest, and your 3 kids have gone home, and they should be home in 10-15 minutes. And as soon as I said that to him, and I was saying it out loud, and as soon as I said that, I knew that he was going to go. As soon as they were, he knew that where they were, and he went 15 minutes. As soon as, because I went and got his wife, and she called home, and the kids had just walked in the door. That's one. And another one that just recently, a friend of mine's sister, her family had been with the sister for 200 hours. So I don't know how long that is, but that's a long time. Finally, they had all decided we're going home. That's when she passed. So and I understand that these are people that are already on hospice, but they still know whatever healing is going on, whatever they are going through and working through, because you got to think that in their minds, there's some kind of a life review going on, or some kind of, maybe some conversations that they're having with people on the other side, or higher selves of people that are here. There's stuff going on. It's not that they're just laying there and their brains are not active. And they choose whether they want their family to see them or not, whether somebody is in the room or not. They will take themselves out, so to speak, when people are there or not. As far as before somebody goes, all of the people in hospice were already on hospice. There's only one situation, and it's actually ongoing right now, where they are getting close, and it is up to them, and I can see the struggles. They want to hang on, not necessarily for themselves, and that's all part of when they decide to let go. I think things will get easier.
So the conversation you and I were having before we went live, and you were talking about once someone makes that decision, how it does get easier, how it allows for some of the healing to take place. Can you share your thoughts on that, please?
So think about when you first learned how to float in a swimming pool, or in in a lake. But when you first learn how to float, somebody is holding you. You're laying down on the water and somebody's got their arms and you're like, but if they let go, I'm going to sink. And what you realize is once they let go, you don't sink. Or even, what is it? If you're I think it's called the dead man's float. If you are laying on your belly, and it's same thing. It's like you're suspended in the water, but you have to let go in order for that to happen. So I think it's something that we all, and it doesn't matter what it is, throughout our lives, we always have choices, and we can hang on to as much control as we think we have, or we can let go. And it's the let go and let God. And when we can let go, that's when I think the connection with God is even stronger, because you are trusting. You're trusting and having faith that, you know what? This isn't the end. The spirit lives forever. I don't know if I'm making any sense, or even answering your question.
No, I think you are. And, it's been interesting because with this particular loved one, I have sat with her in meditation many times over the last 6 months. And so many times her guides would show her in a river. So I love your analogy here, floating, and her guides are around her, fully supporting her, but like not even touching her, right? But just loving her, preparing her. I saw months ago that they were preparing her for passing, even though in body she was very much trying to continue living, but they were preparing her soul and her spirit. And on that spirit level, she's fine, and she knows she's fine, but she's resisting so much here on this physical plane. That's got to be exhausting in and of itself, just being in resistance all the time.
So everyone that's listening to what Ruth just said, tighten your muscles, tighten all your muscles right now. Even just tighten your arms and your fist, and hold it as long as you can. Well, not as long as you can, but hold it for 5 seconds. And then let go. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Here, this is a perfect. So when I was a kid, and you can only do it in certain houses that have their like pathways, doorways to go from one room to the other, but they don't have a door in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have right there. But it's the width of a door. Okay. There used to be an exercise that we would do, and this is absolutely letting go. So you would stand there and you would have your arms pushed out. Your palm would be in, but you would be pushing as hard as you could against the sides of the doorway. And I don't know how long we'd hold it, but we'd hold it for a bit, and then we'd step away and step forward just a foot, and our arms literally would float up. And it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't that we were forcing them. It was that they floated up. And that is it exactly, because you're pushing, or hanging on so tight. And then all of a sudden you let go, and it's like, oh, look it, I'm floating. Right. But we think as humans that we have control. We think we have control. Control is such a misnomer.
And letting go and going with the flow doesn't mean you're going to die sooner. It doesn't mean that. It means that you're in the flow of grace and you're not resisting anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say if there's anybody listening, and Jess, we are going to get to you in just one minute here. If there's anybody here who is themselves going through that place of, I know my time here on earth is limited. I know that I'm going to be facing this. Do I go with hospice? Do I just turn off the chemo or whatever? If you're struggling to make that decision and you want to talk to somebody, you can reach out to me or to Sue. We would be happy to have that conversation with you. So Jess is listening. Jess Canberra Odom.
Hi, Jess.
You know Jess?
No, I don't think I do, but I do now.
So Jess's mom passed away last month. It's been a month. And she said, I really miss my mom. I can't believe she's really gone. And that it's been a whole month since she passed away. And I feel like I can't live my life without her. I'm so sorry that you are feeling such grief, Jess.
And Jess, I feel I just have to say, this is something you can do now. This is something you can do on a regular basis. But I feel I have to say it now is just putting your hand like on your high heart and just breathing. Just breathing, because I feel like I feel like there's such a tightness here, but I feel like part of it is, it's like, it feels suffocating, but it's something that you're, like we were just talking about with the tension, it's something that you're doing. And I think just breathing into that and breathing and just breathing into that, I feel like that helps alleviate that, but it feels like it opens up some pathways for you.
Well, what it feels like to me, Sue and Jess, along those lines, that shallow, rapid breathing doesn't let the oxygen down into your whole body, and feels like you've been holding on so tight, like not even giving yourself permission to take those deep breaths, because maybe if you take that deep breath, you are just going to crack wide open. It's sobbing, which is fine, whether it's just being inconsolable, which is fine. It's being totally non-functional, which is fine.
Yep.
You won't break, and it's okay. You can take that deep breath, but just like Sue said, just releasing that. We're not talking about a restriction here today and fighting resistance. Maybe just take a deep breath, and maybe you can't get it all the way down to your toes, but maybe try to get it to your heart. Just, yeah.
Our breath is so very important. Whew. Okay. We have, notice the animals around you. I love this. Animals are so interesting to me. If you watch animals in the wild, or even any animal shows, where they have the hidden camera and you can see what's going on with the animals, it's always so interesting because they're so nurturing. And what I'm seeing in my mind right now, I'm seeing like it's an eagle's nest, where the eggs are hatching open and the mother eagle, and you wouldn't think this huge mother eagle could be protective, but there's such a nurturing that goes on. And I feel like there's something in the animals that are around you. And it's interesting the word nurture comes up, because I think that your mom is, it's going to sound really strange, but your mom is nurturing you through the animals that you see. So whether you see a cat licking a kitten, or a mama dog licking her puppy, or a mother bird feeding her baby. There's a nurturing that you're seeing that it's either bringing back memories of when you were younger, or just the feeling of that's such a beautiful experience that I'm able to see that. And that's the part to breathe in, the nurturing experience that you had with your mom. Because she was I feel like she was such a nurturer. And maybe you didn't always let her know that she was, but you felt it. And now it's like, yeah, thank you, Mom. You were such an inspiration to me. Because you might have memories now. It's like, oh yeah, she would always do that. That's what it feels like. Notice the animals. So interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Sue. That's beautiful. So, Jess, it was interesting because what I saw was a big welcome sign. Like, this is what your mom saw and is seeing. So, two thoughts were brought to me. One of them, Jess, my dad died about 5 years ago now. I'm not good with time. Maybe 5 years ago. And the day that he passed, he had sort of a near-death experience where we were watching him sleep, watching every breath. I know we know what that's like, any of us that have lost anybody. And he didn't breathe there for a little while. And, we're watching thinking, is that it? Is that it? And then he came to and he said, I just died. And he was telling us that he was walking down this corridor and he was seeing the photos, life photos, pictures of loved ones, pictures of experiences that he had had, which I'm thinking is like the life review. They talk about a life review. And he was going toward this very bright, very loving light. And all along the sides, like he was going down this corridor, were people cheering him on. Welcome home, well done, great job. Just this welcome home party for him. And he got a little closer and they said, no, go back. It's not your time. And so Jess, when he got back to us, the rest of his life, which was only 18 hours, he wanted so badly to be back there because it felt so fabulous, so loving being there. And so they wanted me to share that with you. And they also wanted me to share what Sue and I have seen before. Sometimes when somebody dies and they've been through a difficult health crisis or a difficult death, when they get to the other side, they go through a time of what I have been told is cocooning. And that cocooning is a time for their soul or their spirit to literally just kind of hunker down. They've got protection there with them. I've seen, it's really kind of fascinating. And they just hang out there and it's like they're, I don't know if debriefed is the right word, but energetically just supported to kind of clear out some of that angst and just get stronger before they can then move forward. So that time of cocooning, and I don't know how long that time of cocooning is because there is no time over there. We think in terms of time, but there isn't. So in my mind, I was thinking it was in our time, maybe like 3 weeks or so, but truly it could be, who knows, years.
Right.
But what they were showing me was that time of cocooning and this welcome sign. So I don't know if your mother was going through this cocooning time and now she's moving forward and it's like, welcome. So I think your mother is in a good space. There's no anxiety there. There's no fear. Your mother isn't there crying and pining for you all. So I think sometimes we think, oh, I hope they miss me. Well, no, we hope they don't, because we want them to be comfortable and, happy. And I believe that they are. And I believe that she is. I believe she's in very good, loving hands. And, whatever support you all gave her on her passing, I think is very much appreciated. I think she's in a good place. Sue, thoughts on that?
No, I love the word cocooning. And I think it's different for everybody. I don't know that and that's why it's like, yeah, there is no time. And yeah, it's like, I think everybody has a different, I think partially because we are human. I think there's some aspects of our human side that goes along with, because it's a belief that we have. And it's like, well, I'm going to get there and I'm still going to have my body, right? And it's like, well, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. It's like, we hear that everybody's in their 30s, 30s over there on the other side. But there are beliefs that we take with. So if we were having a very difficult time here leaving, or maybe we had a very difficult life, I think, people bring some of that with, and part of the cocooning is releasing that and letting go of, no, that was the 3D world, and let's see what lessons you learned out of it. And if there's still lessons that you want to work on here, let's do that. Let's figure that out. But it's resting time. It's kind of like a fake sick, not a fake, but because it's not, but it's kind of like a sick day when you could just sit in front of the TV and veg. But there's a lot more nurturing that goes on, because it's the nurturing part. It's the love and support you are getting from everyone that is there, everyone that's on the other side. Because the people that are here are so grief-stricken. So many people are grief-stricken that's not feeding right now the loving memories, the when you go into the love space and sharing those memories, that's feeding them. But I think the nurturing is they're just being supported. It's like, yeah, we're here, we got you. And you did a really good job. So just relax and have that cup of coffee. Just relax and have that cup of tea. Just relax and curl up in bed and just feel the soft pillows and feel the soft blankets, because we got you.
Yeah, there are so many stories of experiences that folks have had. I know my dad died at midnight, and the next morning I had to get out. I had to, it's so hard being in that space of dying and death. I literally had to get out. And I stopped at PetSmart and I thought, okay, I'll pick up some dog food. So I got out of the car, and then I was walking. It was snowing. There was like snow all over, and I was walking behind this other car that started to back out. And I thought, well, that's stupid. That's all my family needs, is for me to die the day after my dad passed. And I sort of laughed at myself, and I heard my dad's voice very clearly. He said, "Thank you, Ruth." He said, "I love you." And I said, "You're welcome, Dad." I said, "I love you too." But it clear as day, my dad's voice. And so many people have had situations like that, where either they see something, hear something, maybe a song, your dad's favorite song runs through, or Sue numbers all the time that have to do with her parents' birth dates or passing, or whatever. But just be open to, are you smelling a flower? Are you smelling cigarette smoke, or whatever that reminds you of your mother? I know the morning my mother-in-law passed, the family got together for breakfast, and the bush outside the house had literally like 50 monarch butterflies. 50. It was just swarming with them. And we might get like one a month, so to have the bush just swarming, and it was like, thank you, Mom. Thank you for this message, this validation that you are okay and that you're still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard of flowers blooming on people's birthdays too, like out of the blue.
yeah, that's beautiful. Or finding coins. When my girlfriend Sylvia passed away, I was finding coins everywhere. I finally stopped picking them up because it was just like, I got you, but I was saving them. And it was ridiculous, the number of coins. So just keep an ear out for your mom. You're going to see her, feel her, experience her somehow. I know it feels to you like she's gone, and like that's an amazing void that you're feeling there. Just keep open to the possibility of how she might be reminding you that she's still in your life.
You talk about the butterflies, and I do think that either a butterfly or a fly or a bird or something with wings is going to do something bizarre that you're going to go, I think that was her. Mm-hmm. It's like a couple years ago, I was walking just normal, on the sidewalk in the neighborhood. There was a hummingbird, and he was like within, I don't know, a foot in front of me. And he just hovered right in front of my face. I'm like, well, good morning. Yes, I see you. Are you spreading joy? And off he goes. But I feel like there's going to be something with wings. And it's the reason I say with wings is because there's a freedom in that. And I think that is partially your mom's way of saying, I feel free.
Yeah, that's
so,
okay. So thank you, friends, for joining us today that have not joined us before. So that was beautiful. Whew, Sue, any last minute words?
I think for everyone, it's just love the people while they're here, so you don't have any regrets. So you will not feel any regrets. So whether that means, maybe there's somebody that it's like, oh, I should call that person, and you pick up the phone, call them, or send them a text, or send them an email, or, whatever, reach out and just, enjoy the people while you're here.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, friends, take good care. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you later here at Enlightened World Network. Take good care and God bless.